under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here he comes through the door, man. All right, we'll take the roll now. Andy, please.
Young,
Yes.
Raynorhurst,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Carlstone, Carlstone, okay, Hopkins,
Anybody home?
they are online. Dan Stryland.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on, see if you can connect with him. Spencer or Dave, are you on? Okay, we'll move on. The City Council has adopted a code of civility. As elected officials, we pledge to promote civility through extending respect to others, listening to understand, disagreeing without disrespect, engaging collaboratively, and speaking up to address incivility. I also want to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast for Pella TV, so anyone who wishes to speak to council, please approach the podium before speaking so those listening at home can hear your comments and see you on camera. Can I get a motion for approval of the tentative agenda?
So moved.
Prince Tryland, Branderhorst, any discussion? All in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Dan Stryland,
Yes.
Raynorhurst,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Carlstone, Hopkins,
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Motion passed. This time we have an opportunity for anyone that wants to address council with any of the items that are on our agenda tonight. Please step forward to the microphone, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Dwight Young, 2509 School Distraught. There's an item on here about this proposed annex building project. I've never heard a lot of discussion about that, and I really question the need for it in relation to existing facilities, as far as occupancy, the possible use of the memorial building. It just seems unnecessary to spend a lot of this money, even though we got the building for free. It looks like it's a pretty expensive proposition. I wish there would be more consideration about the need for it. Thank you.
John Banstra, rural Mahaska County. On tonight's consent agenda is discussion of the airport committee minutes. And for those that were in attendance there, or I guess I should say for those that weren't in attendance there, at the meeting being discussed tonight, there was quite a discussion whether FAA would fund the rebuilding of Pella Airport without the sale of the current South Central Regional Airport land. And then in the following meeting, which will be coming up in about a month, it was clarified that not only does the land have to be sold for Pella to put funding into the FAA into the Pella Airport, rent money from the South Central Regional Airport land can only be used at the South Central Regional Airport. It cannot be redirected or refunded to any other purpose. Now, in light of what has been happening last year, as we remember that the South Central Regional Airport placed itself in pause, being unable to purchase additional land. Both the Pella and Oskaloosa City Councils have approved new 28E agreements that also place the airport in pause until directed by the councils. What is interesting is in February of this year, the South Central Regional Airport authorized Garden Associates to do basically to outline a property belonging to the DeRoy family, which is needed to continue the airport. So and that was dated February of 25 of this year. What the public needs to know is, do we plan on purchasing more land, or do we plan on selling the current land? And I think the Pella Corp would like to know, because also at the February meeting, they presented plans for a new Pella hangar. I think they would like to know that before they start building one, what direction the council intends to go. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on. I'm gonna get a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Support.
DeYoung, Brandenhorst, any discussion?
I have a question on 3D, that we are getting a contract together with the attorney firm to talk to the school about what they might be able to do for the rec center. Are we ahead of ourselves here because we don't have a pool yet? Is there any, what's the rationale for going this way?
Mayor, would you like me to?
Yes.
I'd be happy to answer your question, Councilmember Butler. What this is a conflict waiver for the Allers Law Firm. The Allers Law Firm serves as the city attorney for the City of Pella, but they also do a considerable amount of work for the Pella Community School District as well. We are notified by the school district that they'd like to consider a donation to the rec center project. What this agreement with conflict waiver would be is simply stating that the Allers Law Firm would be drafting the agreement, but they would not necessarily be advising either client on the agreement. They estimate the total amount of fees of the agreement would be about $2,000 for the donation agreement, which would be split evenly between the school district and the City of Pella. So this is a requirement by the Allers Law Firm because they represent both the City of Pella and the school district, and it simply states that they will be just drafting the agreement, but they won't necessarily be advising either one of their clients on this matter.
Okay, but, so we're gonna get to pay $1,000.
What it is that's what they estimate their fees are, is $1,000, or $2,000 in total. In the agreement, it says what we've traditionally done with the school is split the fees 50-50 between the parties.
Okay, anything else? All right, we'll vote on the motion for approval of consent agenda. Mandy, please call the roll.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Brandenhorst. Yes. Butler.
Yes.
Carlstone. Hopkins.
Yes.
Van Stryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, we'll move to a public hearing regarding annex office building project bids. Mike, you want to walk us through this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to explain this item for those in attendance and those watching at home. I'd like to direct your attention to the big board for a presentation on this item. As Mayor Ward stated, tonight's purpose of this public hearing is to discuss the property at 215 Main Street, which was given to the City of Pella by the Community Betterment Organization. And what we have tonight is consideration of bids that would remodel the facility that you see in the picture up there. It was a former daycare building. What we're proposing to use the facility for is to relocate our planning and zoning offices on the main level of the facility. It would also house a number of city meetings. Most of them would be associated with the four boards of the planning and zoning department that would take place there. In addition, there may be county functions that take place at the main level as well. We've had preliminary discussions with Marion County on that. The third floor, the upper level at this time, would be an additional space to allow for future growth for the city. May fit in well with transitional that we have as far as renovation plans when the community center project proceeds forward as well. That space could be used on a short-term basis to house city functions. And the lower level is proposed to be a record retention area for the city. But as far as the bids that we're considering this evening, it is important to note that we had an engineer's estimate of just shy of $1,483,000 for the base bid, and they estimated with the alternates that we're considering this evening would be a total of just shy of $1,645,000. The lowest responsible bidder on the project is Christner Contracting. They submitted a base bid of $952,459, and the base bid plus alternates is just shy of $987,000. So the bids came in roughly about 36% below the engineer's estimate on it as well. So let's go ahead, please, Mandy. Now, the three alternates that are being considered and recommended for approval this evening would be fiberglass windows in lieu of vinyl for the building. The second floor flooring, so we complete the flooring on the second floor. This would make it ready again for future use as well. And we also have a small amount for stamped brick patterns on sidewalks that are associated with the project as well. So once again, we're looking at a total bid amount of not just shy of $987,000 for the contract. Now, if approved, final completion on the facility would take about 210 working days. So roughly about this time next year, we believe the project would be completed. As far as funding for the overall project, what's being proposed is we had designated money that was left over from the previous local option sales and services tax that expired on December 31st, 2023. And we're also proposing a $700,000 bond issue at this time for the project. If we were to proceed with the bond issue for the project, we'd have a debt service levy amount of about 8 cents. But again, we're still in the process of looking at this project. And this is one of the projects that we are considering potentially using cash reserves for to fund the entire project if council were to proceed with the project. So I believe that's what we stated. Mandy, do we have any additional slides on this matter? Okay. Well, that concludes staff's presentation. Mayor would be more than happy to answer any questions the council may have on this item.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any written comments received?
No written comments.
Council, comments, questions?
When I was in that building, the elevator needed repair work, considerable repair work, it seemed, at the time. Is that in this bid?
I'd like to have our planning and zoning director, Jerry Vitus, answer that question.
Yes, the elevator is included in this bid package.
Good, thank you.
And the space also includes driver's license, right?
Yeah, it does. Mandy, we may want to show the floor plan that we have, and also kind of, we have a slide here too. Maybe if we could go to, before the floor plan, Mandy, let's show the slide. This is on a tentative basis that we have, and once again, what we're planning on doing, the planning and zoning department is on the lower level of the city hall. What we're planning on doing is relocating the planning and zoning staff to the main level with that. And currently, planning and zoning serves 4 boards. That those board meetings take place in this building right here. That's the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Board of Adjustment, Historic Preservation, as well as the Community Development Committee. All those board meetings would take place at the new facility, which means the police department would have additional access to this room here on it as well. By moving the planning and zoning staff to 215 Main Street, that would also free up space at City Hall, and that's where we were at the space needs at City Hall when we took on Pella Fiber, or created Pella Fiber. We added 3 administrative positions that were customer service related positions that were associated with that utility. It caused a space need at City Hall. By doing this, we'll be able to consolidate administration, human resources staff, as well as finance at City Hall. Those will be the functions that will take place at the City Hall. We've also looked at, for main level that we had here would be the Marion County driver's license station. We've been having preliminary talks with the county on that as well. We think that'd be a good location for that function to take place with, and that's included in our preliminary plans with that as well. On the second level, Mandy, let's go ahead, please, if we could show. Yeah, here's the main level. So Jerry, if you want to walk council through the main level.
Certainly. We'll start on the left side. Left bottom would be the Iowa Department of Transportation. That suite has been planned out to be a driver's license office, either currently as it exists, or even to, if they wanted to operate full-time with additional staff. It's basically completely separated from the building. We'll have its own key card entrance. some key lock. Also, it has its own IT served from Pella Fiber. So Iowa DOT has specific requirements for their servers to be secure from ours. Going basically up, that is a community conference room. That's primarily where we'll hold HPC, CDC meetings. It also could be a room available for the public to rent, or other city staff departments could hold meetings there. So it is a multi-use type of room. Over to the right side would be, far right side is planning and zoning department with our offices. The center section is directly in the middle with restrooms and a break room behind. You have stairs going down and up, and also an elevator going down and up. The bottom floor would be complete records retention for City Hall and Public Works, so we could consolidate everything from human resources to payroll to Public Works engineering drawings to city engineering drawings to planning and zoning, all in basically 3 different areas, all could be secured individually. So if Mandy or HR needs its own secure room, it's available downstairs along with finance. The rest could be Public Works, planning, engineering, whatever. And then finally on the second floor or top level, start on the right side. That right side is completely open with a break room and a restroom. It's just about, from where I'm standing, about this size. So technically, it could hold a planning and zoning hearing, it could hold board of adjustment hearings, it could even in a pinch hold a council meeting. Maybe with not a lot of people, but it could. The far left side is basically reserved. That could be lease space for external client. It could be another office space for Public Works or any other department of the city. Right now, what we're going to do, we'll frame it out to have the restrooms and everything accessible, put flooring in, but anybody comes in will need to put in cubicles if they want, but we'll have fiber and Wi-Fi and all that good stuff. So that's basically the outlay of the building.
And Jerry, and what we talked about, depending on the timing of the community center and when the project, if the council were to proceed with that project, we do have an administrative staff along with the city's art program that takes place in the community center. We talked about if this project were complete before the community center renovation were to start, that we would be at least able to house those functions to take place at 215 Main Street while the community center was being renovated as well. So.
Another thing I noticed is that while the building looks great when you drive by, it's got a considerable flat spot on the roof. There's a big area of flat on the roof. You can't see it in the drawings. And a flat roof is always a problem. I don't know how that could be done. I don't know if we can't cure that with this thing, but it's going to be something to think about in the future.
Well, you're absolutely correct. As the roof has failed in the corner, we inherited that, and it's not an issue from us, but it did fail in the corner, and part of this bid package is a new flat roof.
A new flat.
A new flat roof and new sloped roofs with shingles. So we are taking care of the roofing problem. A lot of it was maintenance issues that had been left over the years that unfortunately we inherited, but we have to fix.
Jerry, any reference work with the contractor? Have you had conversations, had references?
Contractor is just building a brand new fire station in Southeast. We're just finished, and Klinger recommended, actually was very impressed with the contractor.
Okay.
So we got good kudos on the reliable nature and some references from Klinger in dealing with that contractor to build a fire station.
Great. Okay, anything else, council?
I just wanted to chime in and say this is a project that I am very excited about and fully support. This is long overdue, and I believe it's going to also be a solution to some urban blight that we're seeing on the Oskaloosa corridor. So it will almost be an entryway, and hoping we can move on down the corridor with more improvements. So to me, this is kind of the beginning of a renaissance, if you will, towards the Oskaloosa corridor. And it'll be much more pleasurable to visit you in that building because you are cramped right now. So, bravo, job well done.
And the record storage downstairs will be a welcome addition. Some of our record storage is kind of dark and dingy now.
Well, the issue is, we had records downstairs in the basement of City Hall where we currently sit. That has been moved there, because we have no space otherwise. So once, it'll stay there, but it frees up then Public Works, and it frees up the ability to coalesce it all together and to divvy it out by secure nature versus non-secure nature, with elevator access to bring it up by cart or two-wheeler. So yeah, it's a great location for any kind of storage, whether it's city or otherwise.
Is this space sprinkled in case of fire?
Yes, I do believe it is.
Okay, anything else, council? All right, anyone from the public want to comment on this? If so, please come to the microphone and speak your piece. All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So move. Second.
Vince Ryland, Butler, any discussion? All in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vance Ryland.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Carlstone.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can.
Hopkins.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to the resolution number 6818, entitled Resolution Approving Plan Specifications, Form of Contract, Estimate of Cost, Receiving of Bids, and Making Award for Contract for the Annex Office Building Project. I doubt there's anything to add. So do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
Vanderhorst, DeYoung, any discussion?
It is just wonderful to see these bids come in below estimate.
Significantly below us.
Unfortunately, it might be a bad signal.
Okay, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Carlstone.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Vance Ryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on to new device retailer permit for tobacco, vape, and e-cig. Mike?
Hi, yes, Mr. Mayor. I'd once again like to direct everyone's attention to the big board for a very brief presentation on this item. Tonight, what we have is a permit that's been applied by tobacco, vape, and e-cigarette. Well, actually, vape and e-cigarettes applied for a new device retailer permit that would be effective on June 30th. Would it be effective immediately, and would extend through June 30th on this year. We had a little bit of background on the legislative issue and the reason why this is coming before us this evening. Now, it's important to note that cities and counties are now required to approve device retailer permits annually, similar to tobacco retailer permits as well. So this is our first one that we've had as far as this type of permit. It is important to note that the reference checks have been performed by the Pella Police Department, Mr. Mayor, and in accordance with state code, we are recommending approval this evening for the permit as submitted.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
DeYoung, Branderhorst, any discussion?
I just wanted to have a special thank you to Officer Hawsey for going in and asking questions and getting a few details. All of them were questions I was going to ask. So appreciative of your extra time and effort on this project.
Okay, anything else? All right, we'll vote. All in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Vanderhorst.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Carlstone.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Vance Ryland.
Yes.
Motion passed. Moving on, resolution number 6819, entitled Resolution Approving Preliminary Plat for Fox Ridge. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Jeff Dingaman has submitted tonight's preliminary plat for Fox Ridge, and those in attendance may be wondering, there's two types of plats. When we talk about preliminary plats, what that is the overall infrastructure plan for the development. It includes the overall the development. Oftentimes, developments are completed in phases on this, and those are commonly referred to as final plats, and council typically considers final plats once the portion of the infrastructure is completed and ready for dedication to the City of Pella. Tonight, we're considering the overall infrastructure plan for the development. This is a 9-acre lot that Mr. Dingaman is proposing to subdivide into 12 buildable lots. Just to orientate Mr. Damon's new building is sitting right here, and DeVries Electric is right over here with Washington Street being right here. So let's go ahead, please, Mandy. And what we have is a picture of the preliminary plat that shows the street extension along with the buildable lots that we have as well. Based on our analysis, we believe that the preliminary plat that we're considering this evening complies with both the city's zoning code, subdivision code, as well as aligns with the city's comprehensive plan. The Planning and Zoning Commission made a similar finding at their meeting on February 24th when they discussed this plat as well. And as a result, we are recommending approval this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Support.
Brander Horst DeYoung, any discussion?
Is there still gonna be a water tower out there at the corner? Or the corner?
With the water tower, we're working with them. I believe that's one of the potential sites that is being considered by Iowa Regional Utilities Association, but it's one of the sites being considered, so we're not aware that that's the definite location.
Okay, anything else? All right, we'll vote. All in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst,
Yes.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Carlstone,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Van Strylen.
Yes.
Motion passed. Can I get a motion for approval of abstract of bills number 2171?
Move to approve and issue warrants.
Support.
Brander Horst and Stryland. Any discussion or questions? I have a question. I saw there was an $87,000 technical or technological bill in there, something about infrastructure. What's that for?
Okay, Brian, do you want to answer that question?
It was the replacement of a lot of switches and, what's the other thing, not switch, firewalls.
Switch or firewall.
Yeah, switches and firewalls.
For system-wide or?
A lot of the locations, yes.
Okay. Just
Yeah, there are a
curious,
lot.
I was just curious.
Yep.
Okay, anything else? All right, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Vanderhorst,
Yes.
Van Strylen,
Yes.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Carlstone,
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Motion passed. Any council member have any other business you want to have addressed this evening? Any member of the public have any other business you'd like to bring to our attention? If so, please step forward to the microphone, state your name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. All right, seeing none, we will adjourn to a policy and planning, and we've had a council member request to have a discussion about the Jordan Well #2.
Yeah, that was my request, and just to keep updated on what's going on out there,
Yeah.
how it's coming.
Yeah, happy to, Mr. Butler. We have actually with well #2, the contractors on site, they're continuing their cleaning efforts, and we believe that project could be completed at actually well being repaired and cleaned. It should be completed sometime next week, towards the later end of next week on it. Where that stands after we have the well completed, then we'll move to the next phase of the project, which is looking at the transmission line that connects Jordan Well #2 to the water treatment plant as well. So we'll actually be doing that for a similar exercise as far as the cleaning of that as well. And then the final component of this, which our engineers are also working on, is at the treatment plant itself and potential consideration of a new filter bank at the treatment bank that would, water would, from the Jordan aquifer, or the Jordan well would pass through before they go to the city's reverse osmosis system. So to answer your question, as far as well #2, the contractors on site, we believe that project will be completed next week, so.
And how does the pipe between the well and the plant get cleaned? How do you clean that?
Well, that's, there's a few methods, and our public works director is not here this evening, but as far as methods on it, then what they're gonna be looking for is any type of bacteria that could be in that line. So as far as that, I believe it was what they call this pigging line, and involves icing and various methods that they have, but I'd be happy to follow up on that and give you a better explanation of that.
I don't know if they use acid or like you said, a pig to clean it.
really loud, felt like air pressure, and I assumed they were working on that.
Okay.
So 4 or 5 times you could hear it like an explosion almost, so I assumed that's what they were doing, because it came from that direction.
Let's hope for great success.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on that subject? All right, also a request to get an update on where we're at with the soccer complex.
Somewhere? Yep, yeah.
That was from me too, so.
Yep, okay. As far as the soccer complex, this Thursday we'll receive the engineer's estimated cost on the project. And what we have tentatively scheduled is there will be 2 days potentially for the public hearing on the project. This would be the dates that council will consider bids on the project. It would either be April 15th or the first meeting in May. And what's dependent on that schedule is what we have as far as the engineer's estimate. If it still comes within the budget that we have as far as the overall project cost, which is roughly $700,000, we'll proceed as quickly as possible with that project on it. It'll likely be on April 15th. If it's over budget, then we'll likely schedule a policy and planning session, so we may have to push it out to May 6th. So right now, depending on when we get the engineer's estimate and they complete their plans and specifications, get their contract documents around for the city attorney to review, it'll be either 2 days with the public hearing, April 15th or May 6th.
Okay, so that's coming along.
That is coming along.
Can I ask which soccer complex, please? Can you specify?
The one out west. Yes.
Okay, so the old one?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Jason and Mike, yeah.
Okay? All right, and then I don't know if there's any other projects we have an update for?
We have a few projects, Mayor, on it, so things that are on my list that'll be seen first and foremost is our budget work sessions are scheduled for next Tuesday and Wednesday in this room. They'll be at 6 p.m. on each evening.
Monday.
Monday and Tuesday. Monday and
You just
Tuesday.
scared me.
The schedule changed.
I'm gonna be gone Wednesday.
I stand corrected, the 24th and 25th at 6 o'clock in this room. So quite a few of the city projects that we're currently working on we'll be talking about along with the department's operating budgets as well. Some things outside of the work sessions, the community center we have scheduled for April 1st. We have, our engineer will be in attendance, and they'll also be talking about the new base project budget for the community center as well on April 1st. On April 1st, we'll also have a proposed ice rink chiller system that's being proposed by a nonprofit group that's working on soliciting donations for the projects. I believe that's City of Pella on that as well. And so those are the items that we have. And of course, the rec center, the public hearing on the rec center is scheduled for April 15th. And there may be a work session on April 1st on components of the rec center as well. We're still working on those items.
I recall in the last meeting, we talked about having a quote on the rec center of just 4 gyms. And it was mentioned that would be pretty easy to figure out, so I hope we can.
Just on the 4 gyms.
Just on the 4 gyms, yeah. No pool, just gyms. Remember that? Does anybody remember that?
I do.
Okay.
It was Dave that said it
Yeah.
was called
Said
in.
that wouldn't be a problem at
Yeah,
all,
so,
and I questioned that.
What Dave said was once you have the contract, you can take a deduct and pull something out. So if we, for instance, let's say we accept the bids for everything and then decide to not do the pool, the rec pool, you can pull it out and get a deduct on the contract. That was the discussion.
okay.
I'm not that's what I heard,
Okay.
But there's.
I heard that it could just be done easily. And it didn't say anything about having the contract approved, it just said, oh, we can do that. So, anyway, that would be a good thing to know, I think. Is what would just 4 gyms cost?
Well, I think the bids did have the cost for the 2 additional gyms.
Yes, sir.
There was a add-on for 1 gym, and then there was an add-on for 2 gyms. So we know what the two gyms are in the bid, what the cost was.
Yeah, we know that. We don't know how much the pool is.
Yeah, the pool number was also
Yeah, well,
By itself?
the rec center, yeah, the additional pool.
Oh, no, the heating pool.
Oh, not any pool, just the
Okay.
other pool was in the base bid.
Mayor,
Yeah, I
if it
understand
would
that,
handle.
but looking for a bid without any pool, just 4 gyms. Because the pools are what costs a lot of money. Build, operate, and maintain.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful that we have a community that's raised enough money to pay for it all? Pretty amazing.
Well,
Pretty amazing. Anything else? All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So, go ahead.
Ladies first.
Thank you, so moved.
Support.
Randers, DeYoung, all in favor, please say yes. Opposed, no. Mandy, please call the roll.
Randall.
Yes.
DeYoung.
Yes.
Butler.
yes.
Carlstone.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Van Strylen.
Yes.
Motion passed, we are adjourned.